A businessman is traveling, and like all of you who travel, particularly those of you who travel a lot, you can imagine this. A businessman is traveling, he's in the airport, and he's stuck. Imagine that, stuck at the airport. The flights are delayed. You immediately see this image of his child waiting to perform a play. And so you know he's really wanting to get home to see his child. And you just see all these lines. You see him grow frustrated until he pulls out the magic. The magic, we are told to believe, is this: an American Express card. And so once he pulls out the American Express card, guess what? He smiles, everyone begins smiling. He makes it home in time to see his little girl run off at the beginning of the play. That was one of the original commercials American Express launched the slogan you now all know so well: membership has its privileges. We hear about membership this morning in the gospel reading, though not quite the same intent or idea that American Express had so long ago. It's not a customer angle, but it's a mention of being a member of something. What does it mean to be a member? I'm a member. Obviously, I'm a member of American Express, though it's not helped me get through the airport quite like it helped the gentleman. I'm a member of that. I'm a member of AAA, the library across the street, Costco, the gym. We're all members of something. It's very curious, the church nationally and our diocese, and Father Sandy and I have been in a conversation these past 2 years to really ask and get at that basic question: what does it mean to be a member of the church? Now, I know some of you are already running ahead and thinking that means I have to pledge and volunteer, right? Father Sandy and I are in charge. We are charged, actually canonically charged, to keeping track of attendance. So we count how many of you are here this morning, and I record it in this book, and I submit that report to the diocese and to the bishop. We all, clergy, vestry, keep track of who's here, who's attending. The very interesting part of this, and maybe you've been a part of a church like this. I've grown up in the church my whole life, so I kind of know how this goes. I was part of a church once upon a time where on an average Sunday, they might have 1,500 people attend for a service. Now, what they would then report is they had 8,000 members in the church. Really? I've not met 7,500 of those people. This is a denomination, by the way, that purports to have 15 million members. Wow. 15 million members. I hazard a guess the FBI could not find 3/4 of them. It's odd, quite frankly, how we as professional clergy count membership. I'm not a big fan of counting heads and just counting numbers. But here at St. Andrews, the most fascinating thing, I've been here for 2 years, and when I had been here maybe 6 months, and I discovered the opposite reality here at St. Andrews. Bear with me for a moment. The conventional church model is we have all of these people and you never see them. And the reality I discovered at St. Andrew's is we have all of you look around, all of you who are here Sunday after Sunday. You volunteer, you pledge, you sing in the choir, you teach. We have all of this going on, and then when I went and pulled up the hard numbers of membership, it was the opposite. We have an average Sunday attendance of over 300, and our membership of about 500 to 600. That's very different than in most churches I've ever seen or been a part of. I keep waiting for someone in the diocese to call me. Keep waiting for the bishop to ask, Tim, how is it that you can only have church membership of 500 to 600, but yet you have over 300 people who come to your church every week? It's a wonderful question. No one's asked it. I want to be clear about a couple of things this morning. You are the membership of St. Andrew's. You are, in my book, members. Yet, as your rector, I'm asked to account for official members, those who sent in their letter of transfer, those who've been confirmed or received. And so that's where the diocese and churches kind of have this unusual way of looking at this, because you are the members, those who volunteer, those who teach, those who support the ministry of this church, those who sing, those who lecture, those who do all of this, those who are here. You are the members. The irony in all of this, let me tell you about one person who made a vow a number of years ago, and the vow goes something like this. The vow is, I'm going to be at church virtually every Sunday, every time the church door opens. This person said, I'm also going to vow to lead the people in worship. I'm going to take a vow to obey my bishop. I'm going to take a vow to provide communion and to celebrate the Eucharist. You do that, you make those vows when you become a priest. Yet, I'm not a member of St. Andrew's. I'm not a member of any church. And once you're ordained a priest, you never, ever become a member of any church. Isn't that ironic? In this whole conversation about what it means to be a member. Because technically, my vow is made to a bishop. And so my membership remains with Shannon Johnston. The irony of that. Membership for me, being a member of the church for me, is something that is pastoral and not about numbers. I know clergy, you probably know clergy, I know churches, you probably know churches, where there is this fascination with counting people and the numbers. Clergy are guilty of it. We go to clergy meetings. I may meet someone for the first time. Oh yeah, Tim, you're at St. Andrew's. How many people do you have come on a Sunday? It's like, wow, we've just not even met. I don't know anything about you. I don't know whether I like you. You may not like me. And there's just that immediate, what's your average Sunday attendance? As if that number is going to describe anything about all of you. It's helpful. It's one piece, one thing out there, but that number does not reflect all of you and what's going on in your lives. It doesn't reflect our ministry to the children who are out there, to our ministry to Echo that we this day gather food for. It really doesn't reflect any of that. So I'm really asking about membership from a pastoral standpoint, not numbers. Church growth and church success has nothing to do with your attendance, has nothing to do with whether you officially join. I'll say that again. Membership, to me, has nothing to do whether you officially join St. Andrews. There are ways to do that, and I hope you would. I hope you would consider joining St. Andrews. When I went back over the past year, and I've done all this research about our numbers to really see what it's like, and in our records, in our database, there are so many of you who are not registered as members. There are many of you who are not confirmed or received. But I want to be very clear. When I bring this up, I don't mean to bring this up to say you can't come back, you shouldn't be here if you don't have your letter here or if you're not confirmed. You are welcome here. I am glad you are here. But it's interesting to see this sort of opposite challenge and opposite problem we have than a lot of other churches. I've likened it to people who date maybe for 10, 15, 20 years. And at some point, someone might ask, do you want to get married? We have some of you, wonderful, wonderful people, who volunteer a lot, you teach, you support this great church financially, and some of these folks are not confirmed. And so for me, that's a pastoral question, not because I'm consumed with reporting to the bishop, looked at how many people I brought in this year, Shannon. Membership, as we heard this morning, is about a relationship. I need you. We need each other. We are in this together. Part of being a Christian, part of being church, means that we are in this together, that we need each other. That's what I believe the gospel makes clear. Christianity, life with God, is not a solo affair. There are times to be alone, there are times to take retreat, there are times to miss church. But yet, I think what the gospel makes clear, what Jesus made clear, is he called a group of disciples to do this together. And so on this day, which is known universally, at least in this country, as Kickoff Sunday, which has nothing to do with the NFL schedule, by the way. We all return now. It's the fall. Holiday is over. for most of us. School has resumed, maybe unfortunately for some of you. School has resumed. We are now back into the full swing of it. And so we gather, all of us here, to say we are in this together. We are church for each other, and we are church for the world. Membership can have its privileges. And that privilege, believe it or not, is to get to know each and every one of you. Even the times where you make me mad, the times where I make you mad, the times that we have great joy together, the times that we celebrate, all of that, it's called life. It's called living together. It's called being together. It's called family. People you're stuck with. That's what the church is. We're stuck together. That is the wonderful privilege. Even when you scratch your head, even when you get frustrated, we, all of us, are stuck together. Membership does have its privileges. If you are not an official member of St. Andrew's, I encourage you to come and speak with me or Father Sandy. In just a few weeks, Father Sandy will be leading foundation courses about the Episcopal Church, about St. Andrew's, about the Bible, and how we think and talk about God. All in preparation for Bishop Shannon's visit in December. So if you are not confirmed, if you are not received in the church, I encourage you to consider that. A number of months ago, it now seems, I was at breakfast one morning with a gentleman who is here. And he was one of these that is not technically, I at the time thought was technically not a member of the church. So over breakfast, I said, I find it curious. You're here all the time. Your family's quite active. You support the church. I'm just curious. I don't see that you're officially a member. And he said, well, I was baptized and confirmed in an Episcopal church. Not too far away from here, in fact. And he asked, what do I need to do? And I said, just send the letter that you're an Episcopalian and that's easy. Shows up here within the week. It can be that easy. Again, I invite you, I encourage you all, if you've not been confirmed or received, or you have no idea what that really means, I invite you to speak to Father Sandy or myself. But again, I do want to leave you with this. You do not have to be an official member of St. Andrew's to be here and to worship. This is not a litmus test to check your access coming into the church. I am glad you are all here. I consider you a member. You are a part of this family. Membership does have some wonderful privileges. And it's called each other. So on this day of professional football kickoff, this day that we gather as a church to talk about our new fall programs, Echo, as we celebrate Jay and Carrie's ministry among us and to us. On this day we all gather. Look around. Look around at each other. That is the wonderful privilege. In the name of God, amen.